How's it going, guys? This video I'm going to be doing now is about my prediction on the fight taking place tonight between Edgar Berlanga and Nicholson. Edgar Berlanga, 16 fights, 16 first-round knockouts. Nobody's got out the first round against him. So, obviously a highly touted prospect with a lot of hype surrounding him due to his power. He's an entertaining fighter to watch. He's got a bit of personality. He's got a lot of celebrity people around him that are, really helping promote his career. He's coming off that first round victory over Ulysses Sierra, which Sierra I thought was a step up from his previous fight against Lanel Ko Ballos. So he took a little step up against Sierra. Sierra didn't make it out in the first round either. He didn't really look like he was too game in there on the night of the fight. He looked pretty intimidated. But Nicholson, like I say, former Olympian boxer. So in my opinion, he'll definitely be coming with more of a game mindset, and he'll be coming to actually try and win, in my opinion. And like I say, he is a step up from his previous opponents like Sierra. So it's good to see that Berlanga's management are stepping him up fight by fight. Slowly they're building up his career. So that's a good thing. He is stepping up in competition. I've seen Nicholson fight against Emmanuel Alim on one of the PBC cards. I think they fought to a draw, which is it's a solid opponent on Nicholson's record because Alim, he's a French contender around the middleweight and super middleweight division. We've seen him in there with guys like Korobov and stuff like that. So Alim, he's a decent opponent. He's not, one of the top guys in any of the divisions, but like I say, he's a French contender around the division. And the fact that Nicholson got a draw with him says that Nicholson is, kind of around that gatekeeper type of ranking in the division, which is decent for Berlanga to be in against at this point in his career. Nicholson has also fought guys like Steve Rolls. He lost a split decision in that fight, so he was very competitive with Steve Rolls. And Steve Rolls, he got knocked out cold by Golovkin, but in that fight he showed that he has a bit of boxing skills before, Golovkin knocked him out cold. Rolls was showing he has a bit of skills. And Nicholson, lost a split decision to him, so he's a decent fighter that Berlanga's getting in there with this weekend. And now, in my opinion, Nicholson isn't going to be able to beat Berlanga. They've put him in there for a reason against Berlanga, and that's to help, try and get Berlanga, a couple rounds under his belt, which I think Nicholson might do. I could see Nicholson lasting, between 3 to 5 rounds with Berlanga before getting stopped. I don't think he's a real threat to win the fight, but I do think he is going to try and win the fight, but I just don't think he has that type of skill set. I rate Berlanga pretty highly. Now, I know he hasn't fought anybody yet, but what I have seen from him is he has a pretty good jab, and I know people say he needs to work on his defense, but I think he is pretty defensively sound and responsible from distance. I think once he hurts guys often, which has been the case, as soon as he hits the guy's hurt in the first round, and then he starts to maybe get a little bit overexcited, and he starts to then not be as defensively responsible as he usually is. But when he's boxing at range behind his jab, I'm pretty impressed with his jab. I think it's a pretty solid jab, and like I said, I think he's pretty defensively responsible. At this point in his career, there hasn't been much, weaknesses shown in his game. He hasn't been in against good enough opponents to expose anything. But I think Nicholson is a step up from his previous opponents, and he might be able to get Berlanga out of the first round and get a couple rounds under his belt. So this weekend we might actually be able to see a little bit more of Berlanga's game, and perhaps be able to, pick out some things that we see in Berlanga's game that perhaps he's not so good at, or maybe things that he's good at that we didn't know he was good at because he hadn't had a chance to show it yet. So, look. Let me know what you guys think about this fight. Like I said, I think Berlanga is going to stop Nicholson somewhere between the 3rd and the 5th round. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Nicholson gets out the first round, or do you think Nicholson has a chance to actually pull off the upset in this fight? Let me know in the comment section below. And also, who would you like to see Berlanga in against next if he gets past Nicholson? The super middleweight division is pretty stacked in my opinion. You got the likes of Canelo fighting Billy Joe Saunders. You got Caleb Plant, David Benavidez, perhaps Jamal Charlo moving into the super middleweight division. So the super middleweight division has a lot of good fighters in. The matches just need to be made. Boxing has a lot of top matchups that can be made, but unfortunately, oftentimes we don't get to see the matches get made because the promoters, they want to talk about letting fights marinate and let's wait a couple of years, and the fights never get made because guys take losses or things go wrong in their career, and you never get to see the big fights when they were at their peak in terms of, hype surrounding the fight and the fighters being at their best. So let's hope after this fight we get to see Berlanga step up his competition even more. Maybe get to see him in there with, I don't think we'll get to see him in there with a top super middleweight for a while, but let's hope they keep stepping him up steadily, fight by fight. And soon enough, maybe we'll see him in a title fight or in a fight against somebody like David Benavidez, who doesn't have a belt at the moment. I see Benavidez is fighting Jose Uzcategui next. If Benavidez stops Uzcategui, I wouldn't mind seeing Berlanga step up and fight Uzcategui next, and then we'll get to really gauge and see where Berlanga is against somebody that's quite a veteran in the sport, but is now starting to get pushed towards the gatekeeper side of the division. We've seen Uzcategui get outboxed and schooled by Caleb Plant. We've seen him lose now to Lonnie Thompson. Lonnie Thompson, schooled Uzcategui as well. So Lonnie Thompson's a guy I wouldn't mind seeing in there with Berlanga as well. He's a crafty, skilled veteran out of the Mayweather gym. I wouldn't mind seeing him in there with Berlanga. But like I say, if Uzcategui loses again to Benavidez, then he's practically at gatekeeper status in the division, and I wouldn't mind seeing Berlanga in there against Uzcategui. That'll be an entertaining, action-packed fight, and I'd actually expect Berlanga to stop him as well. So let me know where you guys think Berlanga ranks in the division. Do you think he'll be a champion in the future, or do you not rate him that highly? Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on him as a prospect. Thanks for listening. Talk to you guys again soon. Cheers.